Hello everybody, just a quick intro to this video. It's for the UKTC 2025. Had a great team, myself, AndyDavo, KFoged and PC. So a hell of a team we had, and this is just, a bit of talk about like all the games and stuff, how it all went down, recap of the rounds. I thought it was a really great tournament. Thank you very much to the organisers. Everyone I played was brilliant, everyone I spoke to was brilliant. The whole thing was great. So let's get into it. Let's find ourselves. So what happened was the most hilarious thing was, of course, we got all the President's Men round one. Like, insane, right? Like, what are the chances? What are the chances of us getting all the President's Men? So we got them, and then it was a team draw, as you can see there, 1-1. And the individual games, I'll try and talk you through them all. You see, this is the thing. This is like, I guess, the tournament report of the UKTC. I could have done this as a YouTube video, couldn't I? Actually, maybe I could. Maybe I could cut it out. I don't know. Will anyone care? Maybe I'll do one at a separate time, just as a YouTube video, and then try and be a bit. Well done, Hargrim. Well done. So the President's Men are, like, famously the best English players 10 years ago. And maybe like 20 years ago, right? Like a long time, they've been the best guys in England and the best guys in the world. But nowadays, they all play a lot less, right? They all play a lot less. And, they're not the force they used to be. Like, it's just true, right? Like, they're just... they were playing like thousands of games on Fumble when people weren't playing thousands of games on Fumble. So they were miles ahead, right? They're still very good, obviously. They drew with us. Very good team. Very good players. Very good individually and players. Yeah, exactly. They're still good. I'm not saying shit. People don't seem to pick up on subtlety, Like, people can make a bad move and still be a good player, still have a good game, right? So when I say they're not as good as they used to be miles ahead of everybody else, right? They used to be miles ahead of everybody else. And then now, they all don't play as much. And so they're all like a little bit worse. And everyone else is like substantially better, right? So they're still a top team. Still absolutely a top team. But it's hilarious that we got them first round, right? Hello Goliath, glorious raid, thank you very much. This is just a big up Jim stream, by the way. Just celebrating glorious victory at the weekend. So there you go. Played tabletop, won the tournament. Very happy, Jimothy. So first game was me versus Lycos. Lycos is, played millions of games on tabletop. Maybe not millions, lots of games on tabletop. He had Amazons. I won the toss, received, went down, scored in 8, no problems. He actually did do a good defense on turn 8 against me. But I had so this is the thing. We'd taken quite a long time, because it's my first time I played in 9 years, right? So we had used quite a lot of time. So we didn't have a load of time left. And I didn't want to fuck about. I thought maybe I could have thought for ages and found a better solution than what I did. But my solution was a 2-dice blitz that needed a push into one rush or 2 rushes. I think 1 rush. So it was pretty easy, right? It was pretty easy. It was don't 1 in 81 and then don't 1 in 36. So maybe there was a really complicated, better option. But I just couldn't be fucking bothered to it's hard. Oh my god! So the highlight of this game was, right? I was borrowing KFoged's team. He had some third-party Amazon team. Lycos has exactly the same models, painted in the exact same color scheme, right? So the only difference is the bases. That's the only real way you can tell them apart, right? They've all got the same skill rings and everything, right? So I'm playing. So first half goes fine. I score my touchdown. So it was hard to work out, right? Doubly hard to work everything out. I haven't played for 10 years, and all the models look the same. So it was really hard to work everything out. So I just did fuck it. I did the blitz, rush, score. Then it comes to I'm kicking him in the second half, and I really hammering him, right? I'm hammering and putting him under tons of pressure, and then he gets away to the side. I'm like, he's had a good turn here, isn't he? Yeah, thanks, Ali Raider. I'm thinking, he's had a fucking good turn. I was looking at it, I was scratching my head, I'm like, fucking hell. How has he done this? So I spent like literally about 5 minutes, and then eventually I brilliantly worked out a way to 2 dice the furthest forward guy, and then he's like, "Who are you blitzing?" I was trying to blitz my own guy. So actually, he hadn't done an amazing turn where he'd made an incredible push down the sideline. He just walked into my player. I mean, maybe I moved my player. No, I hadn't moved my player because my player blocked in the end. So I had a player behind my player to be the assist, right? So then I had to 1 dice blitz his guy, and then the guy that was my player then 1D blocked as well. So I did manage to 2+ them both away from me. So I did blunt his attack, but in like the shittest way possible, because I thought he'd made an unbelievably good push, and then he ran back, and so he's quite deep in his half. He had a thin screen. I could have based the ball, except I got a ball down, so I couldn't. I got wrestled. But anyway, I couldn't really base the ball. I think I did base the ball. But the problem was the center was a little bit open. Unless, here's what I could have done. I could have moved my wrestle into a better spot to stop that, right? And then I could have made a blockless block. But what I did was, I did the blockless block so that I had a follow-up hit with a wrestler, and then I could have moved the other lineman, and then it would have been stronger on a 1 in 81. And of course, if Artemis had been there, he'd have been like, "What the fuck are you doing, making a blockless block?" But honestly, the payoff was there. And then I won in 81. That gave him a bit of room, and he did great. To be fair to Lycos, right? He was on the back foot for all of his half, and he did great at rolling all the dice to get out of it, right? He made millions of dodges, millions of rushes, but he did them in the right way. I'm not he did a great job, and then eventually he made again loads more after that. I got lots back, but not really in the way, and then so he made another push down the side. I got back in. I thought I could have dodged double rushed for a 1D with wrestle, but the problem is, I thought it's not that good, is it? So maybe it is, right? Maybe it is, but it doesn't. He had to do a 4+, 4+, 3+, 2+ to score, which isn't easy, is it? Right? That's not easy. About 50-50 to score he was in the end, but he'd done great to get to that. But he was 50-50 to get there. Yeah, I mean, I outbashed him heavily. I outblocked him heavily, and didn't really hurt anything. I stunned. I KO fouled a big girl, and then I got sent off fouling the other one. But I was hammering him on blocks, and then he was scrambling, and then in the end he made his 50-50 touchdown, which if he hadn't, we'd have won the round, of course. And I would have gone 6-0 in the end. So yeah, I did not get many cards throughout the tournament. I don't know how the scores were, right? We just did them at the end because neither of us were tour play enjoyers. This one, Davo banged out Joe Manji instantly, and Joe Manji was like, "I've lost," straight away. He just said he'd lost. Davo just smashed him to pieces. A common theme this weekend. This one, Gegster with Woodies versus PC with Dark Elves. Do you know what I think what would have been better, obviously, I think in teams, I think Wood Elves are just better than Dark Elves, right? Now, I don't think they're much better or anything, but what I think is if a game's really tight, having a 1 turn is really good, isn't it? So I don't like that Dark Elves don't really have a very good 1 turn. That's all it is. Not like a big slate on them or anything. They're still a top team. Top team, Dark Elves. And they are slightly favoured versus Wood Elves. And obviously, look, he got outbashed, 2 Kaz for Gegster, no Kaz for PC. Normally, the Dark Elves had outbashed them, and PC said he rolled a few snakes and stuff. So, is what it is, right? Can't win them all. And then the other one was... Wait, that's mine. The other one was Big Kev, a 1-1 draw, and he said he had no business at all drawing this one. So this one, So actually, the draw seems pretty fair because... Lycos wasn't super lucky to draw against me, but I felt a bit felt a bit sad that he made the 50-50 score, but it was only 50-50, so wasn't crazy. But yeah, apparently this was a crazy draw from Big Kev. So there you go. That was round 1. Now round 2. So we drew the round, which meant we got Fun Havers in round 2. And the Fun Havers that we got, Ministry of Cultured Stunties. They were mostly playing stunties. So this one, Davo, was against Slan. So he said that Willow was a decent player, so he wasn't too happy about getting Slan when we all got stunties, but he still did the job. 1-0. We'll do me last. KFoged got Goblins. So the touchdowns, you just do player 1. Like, no one fucking cares who does anything, right? Well, I mean, some of them do care, but KFoged did, right? He put it on his catcher and his lineman. So KFoged did it properly. I didn't do it properly. It just doesn't matter. So KFoged beat Goblins 1-0. He said he ended with like 5 players on the pitch. He said he ended with 5 players on the pitch. He got absolutely banged out, but obviously he'd got his touchdown in first. I think he snaked to go 2-0 up as well, maybe. I'm not sure. PC made 5 Kaz versus Gnomes. Smashed them to pieces. 1-0. I only made 4 Kaz versus Snotlings. So this was a weird one. Obviously I know more about my games than theirs, because you can't really follow everyone else's games while you're doing yours, right? What was hilarious about this one? So I've got no idea how Snotlings play. Hello, Dementor. We'll get to Dementor later, the lucky bastard. Just joking. So what happened in this game was, right, I've never played Snotlings before at all. No idea how to play against them. No idea what I'm meant to be doing at all. He's got 16 Snotlings. He gets an extra 7. He's got 23 players, and I've got no idea what to do. So I think I'll just send up like 5 players to fight him. 6 players to fight him. 7 players to fight him. 7 players went to fight him, while my 2 blockers and my 2 blitzers stayed 8 squares away from his bomber in a line. So he just couldn't bomb my good players. And then I did this for like 4, maybe even 5 turns, and I hit his diving tackle guys, did not hurt them, dodged away from his trolls, hit his diving tacklers, didn't hurt them. Turn 6, I made my first Kaz, and then like eventually, scooted up the pitch and scored. I eventually got to like base his bomber, so that's when I made my push. Scored on turn 8, and then a hilarious 1-turn attempt ensued where we rolled pitch invasion, and it knocked over my entire backline defence. So I just had a gaping hole, complete gaping hole. And Snotlings on movement, like they're stilty runners on movement 6 with sprint, and he gave them sure feet, right? So it just goes 9 squares, basically guaranteed. So like it's an almost certain touchdown for him, except the troll that was going to throw got knocked over with a pitch invasion, and the guy who was going to throw got knocked over in the pitch invasion. So yeah, it did turn into a classic 1-turn defense. So what he had to do was he had to blitz his other troll free, and then he blocked his path with the assist. So he had to throw. He could have made a rush, but he didn't. He could have made a second. He had to do 1 rush with his troll. Didn't do the second rush, and then he threw it, and he was 1 square short. He scattered out of range, and he was 10 squares away, so he couldn't score. But if he made the second rush, he would have. With the troll, he would have scored. So luckily he didn't get the 1 turn. So I'm 1-0 up at half time. Then he receives, and he he's got trolls in his pump wagon, right? So I didn't really want to stand in his way too much. He had the bomber throwing things at me, so I kind of got in his way. eventually like forced a Tato, 3-diced him, got it down, ball scatters into my end zone, too far away from everybody else. So I can't get it, except the one diving tackle guy who's left is in my way, right? So I can reach it with one player, but the one diving tackle guy is marking that player, and I rolled a double 4 on the dodge. So the diving tackle made all of the difference and then got him the touchdown. So that was funny and good for him. And at this point, we've gone really slowly, right? Because Snotlings take loads of time. Because they do loads of dodges. They can roll a 2+, then they can re-roll it, right? They've got to activate their trolls. They've got to. They just got to make. They've got to do all the argue, the calls, the bribes. They've just got to roll lots of dice, Snotlings. And I don't really feel like he took loads of time or anything, or that I took loads of time. I just think we just like kind of ran out of time. So I've got a 3 turn to score, but like looking at the time, I don't have the time to score in 3, right? So I had to get into range and have a somewhat, not really unprotected, right? Because it was 3 dice uphill anyway, even if he could reach me. But it was a somewhat risky ball carrier because I thought I have to just get into range because we're probably not going to have time for turn 8. And then so I scored in 2. And then obviously he should have had a 1-turn touchdown attempt. But he very graciously denied that because I was like pissed off that I had to score on turn 7, right? Now obviously I didn't know that everyone else had won. If I'd known that, I would have said, "Oh, I'll have you 1 turn." Like I would have done because it wouldn't have really mattered, right? But I think they were saying dice down. You can see there 2-14-45. Like we had a long game. It was a long game we had. So like, and then I think the TOs had even come over and they said you've both played 7 turns, so you can just call it, and he called it. So it was very nice of him. Everyone I played was lovely, by the way. So there you go. So that was good. So yes, that was a 2-1 win for me. That was round 2. And then round 3, we're up against Hypzig Team B. Now the funny thing about this is, these are the people who play with KFoged. So like they're like I think he drove them down, or at least like 2 or 3 of them, like 1 or 2 of them. He like even drove these guys down. So like these are like he's just gone all this way to play his mates, which is pretty funny. So final game of day 1. I don't know what happened in this one, I'll be honest. PC lost to Dark Elf Mirror. Only took 2 cars. He probably rolled some snakes that were critical. There you go. KFoged, Slan Mirror. Don't really know what happened in this one either. But it's KFoged, so I'm betting on him anyway, right? The Davo one was hilarious. Davo versus Orcs. 5 cars. I looked over and and like he'd removed 9 players. He made 5 cars and 4 kills. Okay, Davo's winning then. Surprised he only won 1-0, honestly, because like it was insane. Davo diced the pants off him. So that was good. So obviously in the end my game didn't matter here, did it? But what? So it did matter actually, because yeah, it was 2-1. So I had to not lose. Now what happened with this one is I think I won the toss. He might have. No, he won the toss. He received. He won the toss. He received. And he's Nurgle and I'm Amazons. So to say I'm confident is an understatement, because I just don't think he can succeed in his offense, right? He's got block tackle, bit annoying, but I feel like I've just got to stand in the way, then he'll have to do something, and then I'll get the ball off him, right? I did a funky few blocks to get an early hit on the ball. I thought, why not? So I got an early hit on the ball, then he like recovered. And what he should have done on about like turn 5, turn 6, he should have realised he wasn't going to score, right? And just like buttoned it down and got the nil and got out of his half alive. But instead he was still thinking he was going to, still trying to score. And then this was hilarious. He went to the toilet and he's like, I'll just be about 10 minutes, I'll just go to the toilet. And we were on the clock at this point, right? Because after the second game versus the Snotlings, I was on a clock every game, chess clock. Nobody complained about the chess clock. It was good. Lots of people were happy to do it. So chess clock was no problem. I always use less time than my opponents, of course. despite not having played for 10 years. Pretty good. And then, so what happened was, so he goes to the toilet, and I've got a pretty complicated turn, right? It's going to take me about 10 minutes to think of this turn. But luckily, he just went to the toilet, so I just thought for 10 minutes. Hello, Fimir. Hello, PC, as well. I don't know, chess clock. So I just thought for 10 minutes as he goes for a piss or a shit, whatever it was. He comes back, and then I'm like, do all the things, and then get the ball, hand it off to my guy. I had one guy who wasn't in disturbing presence. Disturbing presence. Foul appearance, disturbing presence. I had one guy who wasn't in disturbing presence at all. So I handed off to him, scooted up the pitch, and then 1-0 on his drive. So how it should have gone is he should have recognised that he needed the win, right? He knew at some point that he needed the win, but so it's not completely on him. But he played hard, right? He did a great defence. He did a great defence against me. But he was never going to score 2. Do you know what I mean? Unless I was super unlucky, he was never going to score 2. I don't know how he would even try to score 2 as Nurgle against Amazons, right? Maybe he can turn me over and score 1. But how is he going to turn me over and score 2? So he had a basically impossible task. But he did great. Honestly, he did really great. I got nowhere on it. I was going to scoot away and score if I could. I got nowhere close to breaking through. He had me under the cosh the whole half. It was horrible. But of course, I could never have lost the game, right? But he was somewhat close to getting the draw. But I ended up double screened the 1-0, and unless he scored 2 touchdowns on the last turn, we were good. But very good effort by him. I mean, very good effort by Lycos as well, right? He was scrambling all the time. So that was game 3 of the day, right? So that was day 1 done. And the usual people who you'd expect are up there with tactics and theatrics, pitch invaders, this Benidorm team, Yudlian's Dimcock. All the President's Men were obviously going to win their other games. The Sand Clan did very well as well. So, basically who you'd expect were near the top. And then we went out to a Chinese restaurant, which when they said go for a Chinese, I thought they meant a takeaway. I quite like Chinese takeaways. What I don't like is paying 20 quid for fucking sweet and sour chicken and then needing 5 shits the next day. So I did that. There was a lot of food though. I could have fed 2 people, to be fair. There was a lot of I couldn't finish it. There was a lot of food. I don't know Fimir. They just decided they were going. But lucky shits, yeah. So we went this and then went back to the student union. They had some more drinks. I didn't drink at all, to be honest. What I wanted was I wanted to go out till 4 a.m. partying in Leeds like I used to when I was 20. But it's not such a good idea when you're 44, is it? So I didn't. So I was a good boy. Yes, there you go. We tagged along. No, Davo went home. I think Davo went home after the day. So yeah, I was a good boy. I didn't drink. And then so of course I was going to play great day 2 as well. I'm shattered now. By the way, I was tired. Day 2. Right. So now round 4. You can see, yeah. So now we've got the top teams are kind of forming here, right? Pitch invaders and tactics and theatrics drew, which was kind of good for us because we don't want them winning all the games, do they? All the President's Men won theirs. Sand Clan won again. Dimmy's team won again. Benidorm won again, and we won 3-0. Quite an easy round here actually versus Team Orkshire. Very good logo. I was impressed by their logo. So let's have a look. Oh God. So, in a theme for the weekend, I looked over and saw Davo with his opponent's team in the Kaz box. 6 Kaz this time, won 4-0, Necromantic Mirror. Absolutely annihilated this poor guy. absolutely smashed him to pieces. I looked up quite early. I looked over. Yes, exactly. It's still a good logo, isn't it? But yeah, I looked over and like I was like, okay, well, Davo's definitely won. So like, just knew Davo had won his game 100%. Big Kev was against Goblins, so you'd expect Big Kev to win, wouldn't you? But well, I mean, mine was also prompted, by the way. To be fair, Meme, my TF was also just prompted. So you know, what can I say? Apparently, so Big Kev had a rush to win 2-1, snaked it, and then he had a pickup to win 2-1 and snaked it, but he was never going to lose. He was never going to lose. It was always under control, so that was good. And then PC versus Orcs. He turned him over and scored on the Orcs drive. So that was obviously, we were very confident. Like, obviously, Davo definitely won Big Kez versus Goblins. And PC's turned over the Orcs. So, you know, the rest, very confident on the rest of the rounds. My game versus Tom the Owl, lovely fella. And he asked, like, at the end of the game, you know, like, what would, you know, for, like, you know, what I thought and stuff and tips and that, which was quite nice. But the problem is, you see, the problem with this is you can't see the games, right? Like, I felt that I played pretty great all weekend, honestly, but I can't see the games, can I? So I said, well, I'd set up. He said, like, what do you think I should have done? I was like, the problem is, I don't know, right? Because I'm trying to play you, and I'm concentrating on playing, and then, like, we've got no record of it. So, like, if it was on Blood Bowl 3, we could look at the replay and you could say, oh, look, this is what you should have done this turn. This guy should have been over here. You can't do that on table. You just can't. You just fucking can't. You basically, you can get better by playing more, but you can't, like, analyse at all on tabletop, right? You just fucking can't, because the game's gone and it's gone. You know? So, like, he was a student of the game. He said he'd only started in 2021, and you know, he did the best anti-blitz setup of everybody that I played. And what happened was, this was an insane game, by the way. I used 3 rerolls in the first 2 turns on blockful blocks, multiple dub skulls, and I failed the pickup. I think as well. I think I failed the pickup and dub skulled and stuff. So I used 2 rerolls turn 1. And then I think I did a 3D. You know what? I think it was a 3D that I rolled all triple downs, because I did, you know, the guard player. So, like, I've used 3 rerolls in 2 turns, and I've got the ball halfway in my half, and I'm surrounded by elves. So, like, shit is bad. So I told everybody, I'm going to lose this game. You know, just be aware that I'm going to lose this game, right? Like, which I thought was, you know, I thought that was a fair thing to tell everybody, because it was looking really bad. But he didn't turn the screw, right? Like, he didn't completely shut everything down and stuff, and he didn't press as hard as maybe he could have done. But I don't know how he would have done, because the game was over. Do you know what I mean? Like, that was the hard thing. Like, and so eventually, like, I was able to, like, you know, get up the field and that, and score on turn 8. And he's like, after the game we can talk about what I should have done. And then, like, I was like, I don't know, you know, like, I think he should have been more aggressive, but I don't know exactly what he should have done, because it was gone. So then second half, now I know how the other games are going. I know I just need to draw, right? So I don't let him score early, so I just screened off. Okay, very good, PC. So I just screened off, and, like, you know, he was just waiting and I was waiting, and we were just trading blitzers, and then eventually, you know, turn 60 surfed a guy because I fucking made a mistake on tabletop. You know, I didn't really know what was happening, and I think I wouldn't have made the mistake in Blood Bowl 3, but maybe I would have done. But it's just a bit harder, right, with the squares and stuff. I'm not blaming tabletop. I made a mistake. Surfed a player, and then on turn 6. Then turn 7, he made the breakthrough, and he snaked a rush or a dodge. So he only had 2 players in range. One was the Witch Elf on the ground, and the other was a blitzer standing. So I blitzed the standing blitzer, and then based him so that if he got chained, he'd get surfed. I was very proud about that. That was the most proud play that I was proud of. Then I fouled the Witch Elf, didn't break AV. So he had like a crazy chance to score, but didn't. It was 1-0. So, his takeaway from that was he had to be more aggressive turn 6. That's something that I learned from playing Blood Bowl, Dark Elves in the World Championship. Turn 6 is like the key. The key turn on turn 6 is turn 6 for because turn 7 is too late, right? Turn 7 is too late. Turn 6 is the big turn for offense and defense, not turn 7. So he was happy with that feedback, and then his defense, who knows, right? Like, just who knows? As I said, if it had been a Blood Bowl 3 game, he could have got a coaching session, but we'll just never know what he could have done better. Like, I think he should have been more aggressive, but I don't know exactly how, because he just kind of let me off the hook. Like, I was happy to just beat him off, right? Like, but I was able to not just beat him off, but also move forward. So it wasn't easy to mentor. Yeah, it wasn't easy. Right. So it was funny. I said beat him off. Yeah, I got a chuckle when I said I was happy to just beat you off all day. Every turn, I'd have been happy to beat you off every turn. But like, he left it. Yes. But he let me not only beat him off, but also move up the pitch as well. So he could have put better pressure on somehow, but I don't know exactly how or what specifically he did wrong. So there you go. Again, like, it wasn't terrible, just wasn't good enough. Right, then round 5, we finally got to table 1.
I love Blood Bowl 3. Like I love Eat Glass.
Brilliant. Thank you very much too, Gutter. We finally got to table 1 on turn 5, on game 5, which was great because it was like raised up and it was in the sun and it was amazing. Now, I didn't realise it was in the sun. Even though it was raised up and it was sunny, I didn't realise it was in the sun. So for dinner, this was after dinner, right? We had dinner after round 4. For dinner, we got a salad and a drink and a Kit Kat. And I thought to myself, I'm not going to be eating until I get home from now, right? So I'm going to eat this Kit Kat at the train station. So I'm going to put it in my bag and eat it later. And then it fucking melted, obviously, because it was in the fucking sun. So I just had a melted as fuck Kit Kat after this game. And then GSP said, just put it in the fridge. And I was like, that's a good idea. So I went to the student union bar and got them to put it in the fridge. Amazing. They actually just put it in the fridge for me. So that was brilliant. And then I went after the tournament to celebrate the victory. I got a fridged Kit Kat. Hello, Kitabix. So there you go. So this was the one. So yeah, Benidorm got the win there. SanClan and Yudlians drew. President's Men and Tactics and Theatrics drew. And then we got a 2-1 win against Pitch Invaders. So this was hilarious, by the way. I got Greenskin Phil, right? The 2 biggest shit talkers of the pre-tournament. The 2 biggest pre-tournament shit talkers faced each other, so that was great. Oh my god, so this was a crazy one, right? Davo versus Dark Elves. The kick, Davo got to receive. The kick went on the sideline. He 1 in 9 the pickup. The ball went into the crowd and then scattered back into the Dark Elves half. So the Dark Elves just got 2 offences. Ah, very good, yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, I think I got better as the day went on, but it's hard, right? Like, it's hard to do all of the things. Like, I wanted to do, you know, like, I wanted to make videos and take photos and stuff. But the problem is you get there and then you play a game where you've got to think for 2.25 hours, right? And then you get, like, a little bit of a break. And then you've got to think for 2.25 hours. And then you get a little bit of a break. And then you've got to think for 2.25 hours. So, like, it's really fucking hard to, like, you know, do anything else. So, yeah. So he lost, and pretty early on, we knew it was going badly for him. And Pitch Invaders were pretty confident with this round, pretty confident. PC received, got his scoring on turn 8, so he was happy he wasn't going to lose. And then so basically, because they knew Davo had lost, right? Everyone knew Davo had lost, so they're just all playing for draws, right? They're all just playing for draws. The other three are just playing for draws. They've decided they've won one. They're going to draw the other three. So Tor gets the draw done. 1-1. Bosh. Captain Oates does not. I can't confirm whether he left his half or not. But I think KFoged scored on turn 8 of his drive and then somehow stopped Captain Oates. So, you know, KFoged got the win there. And then my one versus GSP, absolutely hilarious. So I won the toss and I didn't know what to fucking do, right? I don't know if kicking or receiving is better versus slan, but what I thought was good was I chose to receive, because I thought if I receive, like, yes, he's got a full team, but if I receive and he, like, leaps in and strips me and scores, at least everyone else knows I've lost, so they know they have to win, right? Whereas if I kicked and, like, you know, he scored on turn 8, he could then turn me over and then he's won, right? So I thought at least I know I've lost early if I receive. So I broke armor, like, all the time. Didn't make any fucking cars, but I brought. Oh, sorry. So this was like the Dark Elf game, right? I double skulled with my first block full block, re-rolled it. Then I made my Amazon Jaguar Warrior blocker a 3 dice with block and rolled a triple fucking skull, right? So I've used 2 rerolls on turn 1. Then I failed the pickup, I think. I failed the pickup versus the Wood Elf. So I've used 2 rerolls on turn 1. I'm like, fuck's sake. Then I used another reroll on turn 2. So again, like, so now I'm like, this is bad. He's got slan and I've got 1 reroll. Like, you know, when he swarms the cage and goes for a strip, I'm going to be in trouble because I've only got 1 reroll. And eventually, I don't know, I think I played pretty well. Like, obviously I've got the ball on a strength 4 blocker. So, like, he didn't really get a good chance to strip me. I think he uphill stripped me and rolled a skull. Yeah, he did one uphill strip. I tagged his Garda, so he'd have had to dodge with a Garda and leap. Maybe that wasn't that turn. I was trying to tag the Garda when I could, right? Because he would have had to dodge. Wait. No, the Garda was a 2+ dodge. I don't know. I was trying to tag either the Garda or the stripper, right, as much as I could to try and do something if I could get to them. Obviously, blitz them if I could blitz them. Maybe he didn't. He did an uphill anyway. He did an uphill, and he sculled. So then I scored. So that was it. 1-0 up to me at half time. So he's playing for the draw now because they think they can all draw. I managed to force him in early through sheer brilliant play, of course. I've got defensive, exactly, BDN. There you go, I'm an idiot. Yes, I've got defensive, so that's why I didn't bother leaping the guard in. Yeah, he remembered I did remember defensive against the Nurgle. I maybe forgot it in other games, but I'm not sure I played much guard. But yes, of course, that's why I didn't leap the guard in. He would have got me if he had. Honestly, he would have got me if he had. He should have leapt in the guard and he would have had to cheat, but he would have got 1 dice. I might have remembered though, so risky move I might have remembered. But yeah, of course, defensive. So all he could do was uphill me. Yeah, good point. So actually I was I was way more upset than I had to be about him, right? Because he could only ever uphill me. So yeah, he uphill me and he scored. So that was good. And then anyway, I forced him down. I forced him in on like turn 6 for him. So I had 3 turns to win. Hello, Samic. So 3 turns is doable, right? I still had like 3 or 4 rerolls at this point. I tried to force him in without using rerolls. So I've got 3 turns. Obviously, he's going to get to leap in and strip me because I have to carry on the. I feel like I have to carry. Oh no! This was hilarious. Thank you, Chaos Valley. This was hilarious, right? I had my strength 4 Jaguar Warrior blocker, and on defense, I based his strength 3 player so that he couldn't blitz me because I'm strength 4, right? Brilliant. You know, he's got about to put another player and then he'd have to put another assist and hit me. So I think strength 4 will happily base him. He blitzes me because he thinks it's 2 dice, right? And I genuinely didn't realise he was blitzing a blocker, like. And then and he rolled the dice, and then he was rolling the armor dice, and I'm like, that was a 1 dice. And then I could have offered him to take it back, but before I could offer him to take it back, he said, "Oh, well, I've rolled the dice, I've got to do it now." And he did a 1D, and it was a skull, and then he re-rolled it, and it was a pow, and then it was an armor break, and then it was a kill. Right? It was so his accidental 1D killed my best player. So I actually couldn't carry on that when I was trying my 3 turn for the win because it was fucking dead. So I've got the ball on a blitzer, movement 7, get really far forward, played quite well honestly, got quite far forward. Of course he cancels things, gets a 1D on the ball or whatever, maybe even a 2, right, because I probably didn't have my guards in the right place. And then the ball was a good scatter for me. He couldn't get the ball. So then my turn, I just I did a good turn. I'll give myself credit. Like I did 3 dices and stuff to clear things, cleared everything, and then hit and run to score. So I did do a very nice solve of it. It took me a while, but I had like 20 minutes left, so I spent a good 10 minutes on this, but I solved it all correctly and did a lovely hit and run touchdown, pick up, 2 dice needing a push, double rush, no, maybe a single rush. Doesn't matter. Point is, got it done. So that was good. So I won that. And then that was the difference, right? Because it was a win for KFoged, a loss for Davo, and a draw for PC. So the result of our game, like we were the last ones to finish. But of course, this isn't complete true because obviously you win as a team and lose as a team, don't you? So they could have ended at different times. And then you would say, so it's all the same. But it was the last one, and it was all on that. So we got the win there versus Pitch Invaders. Very good. Thank you, Dementor. Yeah, I was pretty happy with it because I made it as safe as possible with all the 3Ds and stuff. I was pretty happy. Right, so then the final round, we're on the top versus Tactics and Theatrics top table. If we win, we win the tournament. If we draw, we would have had a chance, and I think we would have won if we'd drawn as well, right? Because I can quickly go at the standings here. We'd have been on 10, and we'd been on the same as Benidorm. They might have won on strength of schedule. Holy shit. They might have won on strength of schedule if we'd drawn. So, good job we didn't. This was really funny. By the way, Sankan just quietly drew versus Pleasance Men. Very good. Benidorm beat Dimmy's team. So you can see there. They finished second, Benidorm. And obviously that would have been Yudley and Dimcock. If they'd won, they would have finished second. Sanclan top 3, very good, above all the President's Men, very good. So there you go, awesome. Top 3 for Sanclan, beating off all the President's Men. Right, so this was round 6. Here we go. Tactics and Theatrics, table 1 again. Now this is hilarious, right? They sit down and they talk amongst themselves. And they agree that it's going to be 3 wins and a draw for them. Yeah, right. So they agree it's going to be 3 wins and a draw. And I'm like, really? Bashdo's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, I think it's going to be 4 wins for us. Like, I think the matchups are good, right? Amazon's Wood Elves, and I'm me. And then we've got Necro versus Dark Elves, and Davo's Davo. And we've got Slan versus Amazon, which, like, I don't think it's easy for the Amazons to beat the Slan, really. Like, I think it's hard to stop their offense, right? So, like, I think, and obviously KFoged, good. And then PC was very confident about beating Lizardmen. I think too confident, because I don't think Lizards are that bad against Dark Elves. I think they're bad against Wood Elves, because they got the leap. I don't actually think they're that bad against Dark Elves. But we were very happy that, you know, it wasn't me or Davo fighting the Lizards, right? Because Lizards, hard for Amazons, hard for Necro. Oh my god. Davo set up 12? Wow. Rerolls into a golem. Wow. So yeah, our team set up 12. So, I just read that. Yeah. So it's funny. So who's Dante Breakmonker? So yeah, he's like, I've definitely won. Like, he's just like, I've definitely won. I've 100% won. He's like, I've 100% won. And so I'm thinking he's won, because he said he's won, right? And Davo looked sad, right? Davo looked sad, and his opponent's saying he's won. So I thought, okay, he's won then, right? And then I'm sitting next to KFoged, and KFoged is like, he's getting fucked. Look, 6 Kaz he took, absolutely skull fucked by Amazons, right? Like, he had no chance. And so straight away, I knew KFoged had lost instantly. That was over turn 1. And then Davo was, you know, they were both basically saying this was over as well, right? So 2 losses. But PC, I saw a dead Saurus, and I thought, okay, this is going well. And then PC was pretty confident. So, like, I'm pretty sure PC's won. And I'm pretty sure that Davo's lost. And I'm definitely sure that KFog's lost. So I have to win. So it's a bit rubbish, isn't it? It's a bit rubbish having to win, obviously. So, Wood Elves, I think he won the toss and chose to receive. Did he? What happened? What happened in this game? No. He won the toss and kicked. So I was like, good, I've won the toss, right? I'm completely fine with this. I'll score on turn 8 and then beat him off. I'd get the chance to beat him off. I'm always going to take that. So I punched some things, failed to pick up, got a bit scared, used 3 rerolls in 2 turns again. Fuck's sake. Just exactly the same thing again. Used loads of rerolls straight away. Unbelievable. But of course, I've got a strength 4 ball carrier with block. So, pretty good. So I kind of survive everything there and score 1-0. So I'm up. Yep, so there you go. Look, I even marked it down. So I scored turn 8. Didn't hurt him. Really, I really didn't hurt him. Then he had a 1 turn. Didn't score. Wait, no, that's wrong. Is it? No, he set up for the riot. The riot was the end. No, so okay, so he must have received. Okay, errata. Complete errata. Disregard everything. So he won the toss and he received. And he didn't set up perfectly against a blitz. He set up better than most people set up against a blitz, but he didn't set up perfectly against a blitz. And then I got a blitz. And then it landed. Bye now, Dementor. Congrats anyway. I was saving till the end, but congratulations, Dementor. So he gets blitzed on, so which changes everything, right? So now he's got a tackle dancer next to where the ball is, and he's got a player under the ball. So I blitz the player under the ball, and I'm thinking I'll pow it, and then I'll have my blodger under the ball. But I roll a both down and a push. So I'm like, I can't just push it, right? I just can't push him. I have to knock him down. And then I surrounded the ball, and I've got my strength 4 guard, next to the ball, next to the tackle dancer. So his tackle dancer is going to have to dodge to blitz and stuff. So I swarmed the ball, and the ball, like there's a prone player where the ball is. Also, I could have also both down and removed it, right? And then the ball hits the downed guy and scatters back to his team. So straight away, I'm just chasing him around like a fucking idiot, right? Because I'm trying to pressure the cage, but I can't really, because I couldn't screen anymore, right? Because I got the blitz, I just can't screen anymore. Screening is no longer an option because I'd pursued him, like I'd LOS, pushed the LOS, pushed in here, like I couldn't really just defend properly. So I'm running around like an idiot trying to chase him around the pitch. He gets down the pitch and he scores on turn 6 or turn 7, because I did manage to somehow get everybody back, causing problems. He scores on turn 6 or 7. And what he did was diabolical. And I said this to him, and I felt bad because I said it to him because he plays Blood Bowl 3, right? So I just went back into Blood Bowl 3 mode, and he had a catcher, and he could just hand it off to the catcher and scored. He said, I hope I don't roll a snake now. And then moved his catcher. And I was like, what? To myself. And then he dodged with his dancer and then rushed with his dancer. So he rolled 2 1 in 36 instead of 1 1 in 36, both of which could have killed his war dancer instead of handing off the catcher. So I was like, never lucky, unpunished for terrible play. And he was like, what? But I only said it because he plays Blood Bowl 3, right? That was the only kind of unnice thing that I said to somebody all weekend. I said things to GSP, for a laugh, but that was the only kind of nasty thing, if you like, that I said, because I was so disappointed that he made such a horrendous decision. Like, it's not horrendous in terms of the chance of failing, right? He's only punished 3% of the time, but it was real bad, right? Imagine if he'd failed the dodge and had a dead dancer instead of failing a catch and still having 2 tackle zones on the ball, or if he failed the extra rush that he had to make and he had a dead dancer, and no score. So I did think it was objectively terrible, but he did it. He scored. Happy. Now I've got I think I had 3 turns. So with 3 turns, I can't carry on the. Oh God, yeah, I heard lots of this. There was lots of people laughing about this, and yeah, I was like, it was too. Luckily for me, it was KFoged. I was on table 1, KFoged was on table 2, PC was on table 3, and Dave was on table 4. They were just where they were, so we didn't they weren't the actual rankings, but so. I was far enough away from PC that I didn't hear what he said. I just heard all the reactions to it, so it didn't put me off, luckily. But I would have laughed a lot if I'd heard it, but I didn't. So he scores on turn 6, I think. So I've got 3 turns. Obviously, I can't carry on my strength 4 blitzer. So my strength 4 blocker. So I have to carry on the strengths, the hit and run fella. What's it called? Blitzer. So I have to carry on the blitzer. And I got a bit forward. And, you know, he did a very good defense on turn 7. And what he didn't do was, he didn't dodge off with a lineman to make a scoring threat. Now, it was 2 squares in his half, so he'd have had to, like, rush. He would have had to dodge through a tackle zone and make another dodge, or he'd have had to dodge backwards and, like, double rush or something. But he turned the guy around, said he's done, hit the chest clock, right? Then, so obviously the first thing I do is look down at my half of the board, right? I'm looking where he's moving players. Then I looked at my half of the board, right? I tilt my head down to look at my board. And then he said, oh, I haven't got a scoring threat. I'll just move this. And I'm like, no. You said it's the end of your turn, right? And he wasn't happy about this. And he said, well, you haven't rolled any dice. And I'm like, no, but because I'm thinking about what to do. Obviously, I'm not going to roll any dice. Like, you can't just not end your turn, like, after 5 minutes because somebody's been thinking for 5 minutes, right? Like, I thought it was crazy. And then I said, no, you ended your turn. You hit the thing. And he wasn't very happy about it. Core said he would have let him off. Core thought a lot of people would let him off. Other people said they wouldn't have let him off. You know, maybe he was tired because it was turn 6. Maybe he saw my head go down and realised there wasn't a scoring threat. Who knows? Maybe I felt bad about not letting him off because I thought, you know, straight away, I was like, he should have let him off. And I don't know. Like, I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I should have let him off or not. Honestly, I just don't know, right? But the fact that he hit the clock, I think that for me sealed it. That for me sealed it for me, right? If we didn't have clocks, and he said, that's the end of my turn. Oh, no, wait, I'll do this. But the fact that he'd hit the clock, that really solidified it for me that it was the end of the turn. Now, funnily enough, I'm me, right? I'm not going to do 4+ dodges and shit with a ball, right? So him having a scoring, it actually worked out that it could have been in his favour they didn't have a scoring threat, right? Because he could have had a better... Oh, sorry, that was his turn 6. He did a really good turn 6, sorry, not a good turn 7. He did a really good turn 6, but he didn't get... No, it was turn 7. Because he'd received, right? He'd received. So it was his turn 7. So now it's my turn 7. And I've got to get in range, right? But I think to myself, I've got a hit and run. I've got movement 9, essentially, right? Because I'm going to have to double rush. He did a really good screen and everything, right? He's got the tree in. He's made a really good thing. But I'm thinking to myself, I've only got to get 9 squares in because I can hit and run and I've got players to hand off, right? I had a lineman that I could hand off to. I had a wrestler I could hand off to. And I had the blitzer as well. So I had players that could do things. And I'm not going to do fucking 4 threes on turn 7, right? So I thought actually it might have helped him that he didn't have the scoring threat because now on his turn 7 he can get it. On his turn 8 he can get a better defense in, right? And then he did go for the strip. He did pop it. The ball's on the floor, and then he dodged off the player that was still marked and he snaked into Kaz or KO, right? Whatever. So really, I guess it wouldn't have mattered if he tried to get a scoring threat in. It would have been worse for him because he would have snaked the dodge and removed himself. And then I'd have another player to get into to do something with. But it didn't really matter anyway. In the end, it didn't matter because he snaked the dodge off. And this was another lovely solve by me. Actually, this was incredible by me. You know, not to toot my own horn, but at this point, I'd made a few removals, right? And I 3 dice the dancer, and then 2 dice somebody else, and then 2 dice somebody else, and basically I cleared everything away so that I cleared a path so that I could hit and run through to score with a double rush. So again, it was a 3+ pickup, 2D for a push, and then double rush to score. So like I did one against JSP and I did one against him, both lovely solves, and then. I actually had banged him out quite a lot, right? This is the only game that I actually had some luck banging people out. So then the second half, it's 1-1. I'm receiving. He's got like 5 elves, right? Or 6 elves. No, he had 8. I think he had 8 or 9 actually. Yeah, no. No, he had 8 or 9 when he was defending my 3 turn, and then he had 5 or 6. I think he had 6 players, 5 elves. I think he had 7. Doesn't matter. Again, doesn't really matter. But I'm thinking, okay, this is really solid, right? All I've got to do, pick up my strength 4 ball carrier. Everything's good. I make a big web of tackle zones. Pick up, fail the pick up, snake the pick up, in fact. So now the ball is on the ground against elves. Shit. Though hilariously, the kickoff event was get the ref. So I've got a bribe. So I'm like, this is great. If his dancer hits the deck, it's getting fouled, and then we're golden, right? So he comes in, rolls some dodges, doesn't get the ball. Something happened, don't really know. So I'm like, right now, hit it. 3 dice his dancer, knock it over, don't break armor. Foul it with 4 assists, don't break armor. We've got a problem. Get the ball on my strength 4. And then he leaps, 6+ leap, makes it. Uphill, gets the pushes, strips it, goes into 2 tackle zones. Uses one of his catches, dodges in, makes a load of dodges. Dodges in, 4+, picks it up 4+, dodges out on a 3+, fails it, uses dodge, fails it. And then he's down again, so I was thank God for that, because I was really close to just losing it versus no players. And then I fouled the dancer and stunned it, got the ball on strength 4 again, and then next turn moved away with full cage, fouled the dancer again with 4 assists, rolled another 3. I literally fouled it 3 times and failed to break twice on a 4+. So I was pretty unlucky with the fouls on the dancer. So now the dancer gets up, comes back around. I've made my full H cage. So he's got to roll a 6+ to dodge in. So that's the best defense, right? And I was trying to hit the dancer as well, obviously. So I'm hitting the dancer, trying to keep his H cage to make it as hard as possible. And then eventually, on turn 16, he tries the dodge in, fails the dodge in. And that was that. So yeah, I got the win there. Very happy. Team got the win. And then in between all of this, somehow Davo went from definitely losing to winning. So we won 3 out of 4 games, which was pretty great, wasn't it? And yeah. So that ended up the standings. Benidorm sneaked in with that must be 5 wins and a loss, right? Overall. And then these got 4-1-1 or 3-3-0 or whatever. So yeah, lots of teams on 9 points. And but we had obviously we had the best record, right? We had the best results, we had the best record. All the President's Men only lost 4 times, same as us, but we got more wins than they did. We got the most wins, which is the most important thing, isn't it? Pitch Invaders didn't lose a lot, but they didn't get enough wins. I know, it's so funny, Quincy, so funny. You can mock me because I didn't get best individual. I drew the first one, won the next 5, and I actually got gypped out of two Kaz because I didn't want to. First of all, Bashto had reported it as finished, and I thought, I don't care about my last Kaz. Do you know what I mean? But he would have waited for me, but I was like, fuck it, I don't care, it doesn't matter. And then the first game or the second game, I remember I was 1 Kaz short. So I actually did get 12 Kaz, but 2 weren't recorded. But he got better touchdown difference than me, but he won on strength of schedule. Strength of schedule is either SBR or BHZ. Buchholz score. I don't know which one they use, but they use one of these 3. They use BHZ. So they've got 3. They've got 3, but they only use one of them. That's weird, isn't it? But he beat me on all 3 anyway, didn't he? There, he beat me on all 3, and then I beat the guy below me on 2 of them, but not the other one. I don't know. I don't know about that. Like, you know, I just think you've got to split them somehow, right? So, like, I'd give it to me because I was on the winning team. But in a way, being on the winning team makes it harder, right? Because you're giving all of your opponents a loss. Like, do you know what I mean you're giving their rounds a loss? Or is it just on, the TO can choose? So I don't know. But is it on the individuals or the teams? But you're giving the teams losses? I don't know. Whichever way. I mean, fair enough, right? Fair enough. He won it. He won it fair and square. This other guy, funnily enough, got the better touchdown difference and the better CAS difference. So if anyone should be aggrieved, it's Gary Buckley, because he got a better touchdown difference than CAS, which would be the other tiebreaker, right? So I was, it was done on strength of schedule, Faimir. So whichever way it was done, I wasn't going to win it anyway. Do you know what I mean? Like I'd lose on all the strength of schedules I lost, and on touchdown difference I lost, and on CAS difference I lost. So I lost. Well, no, I would have lost to him. So I lost on all of them. Yeah, KFoged got best frog, which is hilarious that was a thing. So then Davo 23, insane. Yeah, insane CAS 9-2, only let in 2 touchdowns, and they were both in the one that he lost. Right, he lost that game 2-0. So all the other games he didn't even let in a touchdown. I let in a few, but then I won 2-1 when I let them in, so it was all right. Apart from the other one, and then KFoged quite far down, 3-2-1. 620. He got smashed as frogs. With KFoged, so still did well. And then PC came back from his horrific day 1 to do quite well on day 2. 3-1-2. 14-5. That's really good CAS, actually, isn't it, for Dark Elves? 7-4. So there you go. So that's the team. Fantastic. Yes, they felt they mistiered frogs, which is weird, right? Because 10 frogs isn't loads of frogs. Like, very weird. Like, if anything, they've tiered them correctly. Like, it's weird, right? 17 Dark Elves, 17 Lizards, 17 Necros, 17 Undead, 12 Humans, 11 Elves, 11 Orcs, 10 Vamps, 14 Zons, 13 Wood. I mean, they tiered Amazons incorrectly because they were best by a mile because people didn't take enough of them. But like Slan, so what if Slan had 10? They didn't mistier them. What a bizarre take that is, isn't it? If anything, they mistiered Humans then. Or Dark Elves, or Lizards. Like, it's so weird. Oh, we can't have a bad team with skills. God, heaven forbid anything isn't like normal. Very weird. But, you know. Yeah, I thought frogs were fine. Like, I just don't get the thought process of saying, yeah, maybe they mistiered Vamps because there was only 10 Vamps. But the thing with Vamps is, like, they're harder to play, aren't they? And so, like, people aren't going to want to take them. Like, if you're a normal person, you're going to do much better with, like, lizards or undead than you are with vampires. So there you go. The best team won. Yeah. Oh, is this Orwob? Thank you very much, Barney the Lurker. Thank you very much, Miss Peltree. Yes, I think. Right. Fair enough, Thulian. That's okay then. That's okay. I don't know what my NAF rating is now. I don't know when they update it. But yeah, everybody was lovely, and I might be at more tabletop events. Normal skill level wise, Satterfield, right? Most people aren't as good as me. Or PC, or KFoged, or Davo. Most people are in like the majority of the skills base, right? And for most people, they're getting a lot more out of, well, I mean, for vampires, Torquemada, we can say, right? Most people aren't Torquemada, so they're not getting as much out of vampires as they would be getting out of 2 strength 5 players with Mighty Blow that they can punch with every turn, or 7 strength 4 plus players that they can smash people with every turn. So, you know. Yeah, more tabletop events. Is it more fun than playing people you can't talk to on the internet? It was like the same fun, or maybe less fun than playing versus Sol. It was that kind of fun, right? The Sol games were great, the Dimmy games were great that I played, online. Like when we've been talking and chatting shit, they've been really fun. But yes, I mean, I'm not a fan. You won't see me saying ladder is brilliant, right? You won't see me saying, oh yeah, ladder's the best way to play Blood Bowl. But Eltmeme, yep, Eltmeme's game, 6 game, everyone, all of the Monday Night Blood Bowl games were fun. The game versus Eltmeme was fun. Like those are different to ladder, right? You'll never hear me saying ladder is an enjoyable way to play Blood Bowl. But yeah, it's expensive. So the thing is, yes, exactly, PC. It was a great spending of time. It wasn't a great spending of money. So I just need more money, don't I? So that the spending of the money is less of an issue. Basically. But yeah, for money wise, it was diabolical. Absolutely £200 to like play a game that you can play for free. So like, and traveling and fucking 20 quid for a Chinese. So, so money wise, terrible. But time wise, brilliant. So, if you're a normal person getting lots of money and then don't have much free time, it then just becomes a great trade, doesn't it? But if you're like me, who has a lot of free time and not much money, then it becomes a worse trade. So, yeah. I mean, I really enjoyed it. And everybody was lovely. All of my opponents were lovely. Funnily enough, I feel like Bashdo probably got rubbed up the wrong way the most by me, because he had fucking weird block dice that I could not read at all. Like he had the skull was a cross and the power was a circle, and like, can you just use my dice? And he's like, yeah. So he used my dice, no problem. But like, I couldn't tell his players. It's like the catchers and the linemen looked exactly the same to me, but catchers had red hair and the linemen had green hair. And like, the Dodgers had yellow bands, except one of them was like lime green rather than yellow. So like, I think we didn't get off on the greatest foot, and then I think he didn't really like me saying his two pluses was shit. And then he definitely didn't like me when I didn't let him do his get a scoring threat in. So he probably was the least happy with me. I was happy with everybody I played. Everybody I played was absolutely lovely. And one person said I was lovely, so that was nice. Shout out to Tom the Owl. But, hopefully they thought I was lovely. Yeah. Yeah, well, one person said that. I didn't say... people I didn't say to them, oh, you were lovely. Like, it's fucking weird, isn't it? But they were all lovely. All the people that I played was lovely. And then I said, everyone I played on the first day was lovely. And he said, oh, well, yeah, I thought this was a great game. I really enjoyed it. And so I was like, good, thanks. So I've got a dice cup. I bought a dice cup. Thank you, Kunchen. I've never used a dice cup before. I actually loved it. I actually loved having a dice cup. I'll be honest with you. I actually loved having a dice cup. At first, I was always a hand roller, and I thought, Jesus Christ, what fucking pathetic nerd do you have to be to have a dice cup? Like, oh my god, I viewed them as like lower than low. But after using it, it is actually great. So yeah, I was a fan of that, and I was a fan of. Like some things, like if I dissociate with Yahtzee or Liar's Dice, I wouldn't have thought it was so bad. But for some reason, I just thought like they were the nerdiest nerds to ever nerd. So like I thought they were just terrible. This is when I was like, fucking have 4 cans of cider before game 2, Jim. So like I really was, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, a lot of them dicing around. Yeah, the dice cup, like the Snotling player didn't use a dice cup. I think just because he had to roll so many dice, right? So I think the reason he was not using the dice, he had like a tray that he rolled them in, so he could just do it quicker, right? Like doing all the fucking 2s to move every troll every time. And the trolls had pro, so he's like, do this, do these pro. Like he was rolling loads of dice. So that was completely reasonable, him not having one. And he had the tray, which made it good. But yeah, I really enjoyed. Yeah, towers. I guess a tower. I've got a board. I have a board. I have a physical board. So I think I would make a tower for it if I was ever going to play with it again. But I'm not. I played 1 game with my stadium, so I'm not going to finish it. But if I was ever to finish it, I think I would have a dice tower, so it would just be a cool thing. Hello, Demento. So yes, so I would have liked team ranking to have been the tiebreaker, which wasn't a consideration, right? Because you look at the standings, and whether you do it on touchdowns or CAS difference or any of the strength of schedules, I wouldn't have won on any of them. Gary Buckley would have won on touchdown difference, and combined touchdown and CAS difference he'd have won. Dementor won on any strength of schedule. But I personally would have liked it to have been team ranking, but I don't begrudge him it or anything. I can be happy that I did the best. We all did the best, right? Like so. And what's this SOF? Sent-offs. Fuck does that mean? Oh, did somebody put down that one of my players got sent off? Yeah, against Lycos, I think I got a player sent off for fouling, and he must have put it down. Wow. I certainly didn't record it. Did I? Maybe somebody told me to record it. Maybe somebody told to record it. Maybe it was the first game. I'm sure I got sent off in the first game. So maybe somebody said, put down that you got a player sent off, and I was like, okay. Yeah, so that's probably it then. So that was it, probably the person who was telling me how to work it said, put down that you got a player sent off, and I said, okay. And I'm pretty sure I didn't do that in the other games. I don't even know I got sent off, honestly. I don't think I got sent off in the other games. What was my most difficult game? Good question. So round 1, I was always in control, and I couldn't have lost it, really. Well, I mean, I could, right? Because I could have failed my score. I could have quad sculled, or I could have snaked a rush. But my offense was no problem. I was in control on defense, and he rolled the dice to score. So that was pretty comfortable. Round 2 was Snotlings. That was also pretty comfortable. Though I could have drawn. That was probably the one that I came closest to losing, because he could have scored his 1 turn, right? He could have scored his 1 turn, and then he could have scored another 1 turn if we'd been forced to play it out. So the Snotlings were weird. He didn't foul enough. He definitely didn't foul enough. But I like the Snotlings, right? So I wasn't too bothered. This was the Nurgle. This wasn't really tough because I was 1-0 up, so I was just hanging on for the 1-0 win. So it wasn't really a tough game. I turned him over on defense pretty easily, and then he played a really good defense, but it didn't really matter, right? I wasn't going to lose because I'd already scored. The Dark Elves, yeah, he just didn't get enough pressure on. Like, it was horrible because I'd used 3 rerolls instantly, and I told everybody I'm in the shit, because I was in the shit. I'd used 3 rerolls in 2 turns, but he didn't capitalize on it, so it wasn't too hard. It was semi-comfortable, And then again, he didn't push for the win, so I just screened, so I was in no danger of losing that one. The most stressful game was Greenskin Phil, because I forgot defensive. Because I forgot defensive. So I thought he could one dice my ball, and he never could. So if I'd known he could never one dice my ball, I wouldn't have been as stressed. So was it harder or was it not? Because he actually could never have one dice my ball. Interesting. But I forced him in early. I got my touchdown. I mean, getting my touchdown was a lovely solve. My offense was fine. And then this was also stressful, right? Because Bashdod, which they're the Wardens that I couldn't kill, kept, rolling sixes to hit my ball. Well, did it once and nearly won. Like, I nearly lost that one. That was the one that was close to losing, I guess. Because it was 1-1. But then he stripped me. So if he had picked up the ball, he did pick up the ball. If he dodged out and then punted it, then maybe I still think I would have got the draw out of it, honestly. That's hilarious, Thulian. So yeah. So I don't know. I really don't know what the toughest game was. They were I'm not saying they were all easy, but I felt kind of in control in all of them. Do you know what I mean? I felt pretty in control in all of them. I think the hardest game would have been the Nurgle if he had kicked. But then I knew I only had to concede one, so I was only trying to defend that rather than trying to win. No, they were all lovely and they played hard. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying... It's just hard to say which was the harder one. That's all. I felt pretty... I felt like I played really good. But again, it's on tabletop, so there's no record of it, right? So maybe I played shit. Maybe I made awful errors that if Artemis was Penguin Academy, he'd kill me for, right? And it just serves to highlight the difference between tabletop and online, right? Because you can do that online, I'd play these games, PC play these games, KFoged play these games, Davo play these games. If we could watch all the replays online, we could say, oh, look, that's why he lost this game. That's why he didn't get this win, blah, 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 blah. But instead, people just say, I rolled a snake, cast all my guys, rolled a 4+. And, and you just don't know, Like that Tom the Owl, he wanted to know, and I couldn't tell him, I just couldn't tell him because we don't have a replay, and you can't analyze. You can't analyze tabletop at all. You just can't. So, thank you very much, Frank. Thank you very much. I was really happy. I was really happy as well because it's tabletop. I think this is the thing. I think if it'd been Fumble, if I'd played Fumble for a lot of Fumble, right? If for some reason streaming Fumble was as popular as streaming Blood Bowl 2 and Blood Bowl 3, and if I'd only played Fumble, then I think the transition would be more difficult to tabletop. But I've played tabletop before when I was a kid, and you can if you take but no one's going to do that though, Elb. You could do that, but as I say, you're thinking for 2 hours and 50. It's hard. It's hard to do anything other than play the game. You could have a fucking cheerleader with you that would take the picture of the board state. So it's so hard to do that. Basically impossible. I could have taken a fucking tripod and recorded all the games, my games, and then looked at them afterwards. But because at least then I could just set it up and forget about it. You could have dedicated streamers like they did for that other game. Was it the NAFC? No, Home Nations, wasn't it? You could have dedicated streamers, but you can't do it while you're playing yourself. You just can't. You can't, and you've got no You've got no analysis or anything. So yeah, so way Demento. Yeah, so that's like a big thing for online over tabletop, right? Like they can't compete with the analysis kind of thing. They just can't. And so I think I played great, but but you know, I don't know that I played great. I certainly felt great. I didn't feel like I made any glaring error, you know, that gave someone an easy choice. Well, I didn't do. I might have done, but they might not have seen it themselves. But you know, I forced in the Slan and the Wood Elves and gave myself a chance and then scored. Right, I didn't. So like that's pretty good, isn't it? Scoring 2-3 turn touchdowns with the Sons after forcing your opponent, like that's pretty fucking good. The Dark Elves, I got the drive done despite using 3 rerolls instantly, kept him out. So yeah, I think I played pretty great, honestly. But we'll never know. We'll never know how great I played. Maybe next time, little less bullish pre-tournament. Why though, PC? Why? Why? Like, it was fun. It was just a bit of fun, wasn't it? I hoped people would understand that it was just a bit of fun. Like, of course, I think we had the best team. Like, that's... For me, it's a fact. Do you know what I mean? Like, well, not a fact. It's my opinion. My opinion is we have the best team. So, why should I not say what I think? You know? Like, my opinion is we are the best 4 players. So, what, do I not say that? And then, so that was the truth of the matter is, I think we have not only the best team, I think we had the best 4 players in the tournament. That's what I think. So, that's the truth of it. But then all the rest was just banter, wasn't it? Just banter to say how, you know, the rest of it is there just to be funny. And I thought people would take things. I didn't think people would hate us for that. It was hilarious though, Dimmy, like saying you've been unbearable for months. Like, now I'm going to be more unbearable because I went 5-1-0 and we went 5-1-0 and it was glorious. But yeah, I was happy. I was very happy. But I would have been happy. Well, I don't know if I'd have been happy if we'd lost because we didn't. But no, everybody I played was lovely and nice, and everyone I spoke to was lovely and nice. So I did really enjoy it. I really enjoyed it, and there you go. Great tournament. I'll make this a YouTube. I'll do an intro and then I'll just cut. Like when I start, I'll do an intro and then cut this out and then make it out. I've rambled for a long time, haven't I? No, 3-1-2 prank. PC went 3-1-2. But, you know, win as a team and lose as a team, innit? That's the thing, so, you know, it's alright. He won some ones that got us the wins, right? I'm pretty sure. In fact, this one. Wasn't it? If he'd lost that, we'd have drawn, right? So, you know. Anyway, that was it. That was the tournament. There's the standings, and we dominated. We got the most wins. We got the least losses, equal least with them. Great performance from San Clan there, finishing 3rd. And yeah, there you go. All the players men kept out of the top 3. Unbelievable, Jeff. And there you go. Right. There you go. Glorious domination of tabletop. Wonderful. Thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and stay fantastic.